Knight Capital is adding to a growing list of missteps by the financial industry that's been chipping away at investor confidence all summer. From the Facebook, NASDAQ mess, the JP Morgan London whale trading loss, the rate rigging scandal, and now this.
Yeah, Andrew Stoltmann is with us of Stoltmann Law Offices. Says the securities industry has zero credibility left, and investors have a right to be totally disgusted. While Tim Ryan of the Securities Industry and Financial Markets Association says not so fast. Both join us now. Let me start with you, Andrew. Why so strong?
Well, I mean, you look at the parade of horribles that the securities industry has engaged in, and each and every time it's the retail client who ends up getting left holding the bag. I mean, I feel like we're in the movie Groundhog Day. It's the same old thing, only different firms over and over and over again.
Isn't that true, Tim? I mean, at some point, what needs to happen here, right? It's one thing after another where investors are left wondering what the hell is going on, and yet you keep hearing from people more regulation is not the answer. What is the answer?
Well, let's be clear. We haven't had our best 3 months. There's just no doubt about it.
Well, let's go back to the flash crash. I mean, it's best few years.
When you are under this type of microscope, you know this, you're in this business, everything is made larger. But that's no excuse. We've had errors, we've had mistakes, and we're serious about correcting them. This industry is, may I finish, please? This industry is very, very large. For instance, like SIFMA, we represent small firms, big firms, firms who are involved in problems, firms who have no problem, but everybody has the same view. Without trust and confidence, we really have no business.
But it's too late. It's gone. And you can look at the securities industry, not just in the last couple of years, but even go back to the tech wreck crash in 2000, where we had undisclosed conflicts of interest in brokerage firm research departments. You can go back to the mutual fund trading scandals, late trading, market timing. It goes on over and over and over again. It truly is the Groundhog Day.
So,
yeah, well, I actually would expect that type of comment from a personal injury lawyer who's spending time doing securities litigation. But the industry is very serious about these issues. Very serious.
What are they doing about it?
You almost melted down the global worldwide economy in 2008, and now you're saying things are going to be different?
Let Mr. Ryan answer Maria's question, if you wouldn't mind, please.
Well, what are they doing about it? Tell us what the industry is doing, how to get confidence back, and what real fundamental changes have we seen?
You really need to divide it. You need to look at issue by issue. And, for instance, let's take one issue that's been discussed quite frequently on your shows. We talk about, let's say, LIBOR. And here there are ongoing investigations. We all know about that. But from an industry standpoint, we're focusing on how do we fix, for instance, what is the appropriate structure for a survey-based index? What is the appropriate governance? We have a very serious issue around controls. We need to make sure that controls and compliance work in these firms so that we don't have these types of issues again. So we're very focused on these.
They haven't worked, right? So what needs to be done?
Well, in some instances they have not worked. In many instances they have. Now, that was my point about being, when you're under this type of microscope, everything looks much, much bigger. It's much more intense. And when you get into this kind of one thing rolling on top of another, everything looks bad. Well, you all know, you do this for a living. This industry is not a bad industry.
Let me follow up while we have you here. Do you think that Mary Shapiro and the SEC made the right decision in not canceling more Knight trades? I would assume that you have lobbied on behalf of Knight, thinking that more trades should have been canceled.
No, that's not true. And Tom Joyce is one of our board members, but never called me, never asked me for any help.
Do you think that Mary Shapiro made the right decision? Because that's one of the reasons why Knight found itself in the position it did.
I don't know. I don't have all the facts, and as Tom said, and you just showed, he doesn't have all the facts. So I don't know whether Mary made the right decision or not. She's got a very hard job. She does an excellent job in a very tough circumstance.
Hey, Andrew, real quick, what do you want to see here? I mean, I understand the whole politics of it and screaming and that plays to the masses, but fundamentally, we all need the finance industry to finance things that matter on Main Street. So what do you want to see?
Well, I think at a minimum, until some corporate executives start getting indicted and serving criminal sentences.
Indicted? Who do you want to see indicted? Indicted?
Yeah, absolutely. If we don't see criminal actions against Wall Street, how about the senior executives of Lehman Brothers? You take a look at the bankruptcy report that was filed against them by Anton Valukas. That provides a roadmap for financial fraud. It's just for whatever reason, prosecutors are unwilling to bring those charges.
Comments? Observation?
My observation is that, this is the type of individual you'll get to come in and talk about some of these issues, and it's very unfortunate because
if there was an investor
it's a lot of
sitting there,
hyperbole.
though, if there was an investor speaking directly to you, while the words may be different, the anger may be the same.
No, and we all hear that. I mean, when we have a board meeting and we start talking about mistakes and errors and where we are, it is very disappointing, and we're very serious about fixing it. But you have to fix it issue by issue, and some of them are just.
You know,
Andrew
Cuomo made a comment to me once. He said to me, people will go back in the water when they know that the shark is dead. Should someone have been indicted after Lehman Brothers?
I don't have the facts on that. You know, I mean, you know my background. Listen,
we all have the facts.
Now, this gentleman can talk about it, but
we all have the facts.
No, but let's be clear here. I have a little credibility in this. I ran the SNL cleanup for 3 years. We went after an awful lot of people. We prosecuted a lot of people.
And that didn't happen in 2008, and that's why we're going to have the same problems again and again.
The facts are probably different. I mean, I have a lot of confidence in the Justice Department. If they had the facts to go after people, they would have. These are professional prosecutors. That's what they do for a living.
Right. That's the bottom line, and this is the country that we live in, a democracy. Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate it. We'll see you soon.